All right. Thank you for everybody joining me. 106 people right out the gate. That's what I like to see. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you guys being here with me. My name's CJ Curry. It's the CJ Curry Show. It's presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is making your daily fantasy life easy by allowing you to pick anywhere from 2 up to 6 of your favorite stars from your favorite sports. You decide whether or not they're going to go for more or less, and you can win up to 25 times your money. If you're not playing on PrizePicks, use code Curry, make that first deposit, and they're going to match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100 over on PrizePicks. So I've left a link down in the description of today's video for you guys to get started on PrizePicks if you're not already playing on PrizePicks, or if you have a friend, a family member, or someone you know. Send them the code Curry, send them the link, have them make their first deposit, and then, like I said, they'll get an instant deposit match up to $100. Can't really beat it. And especially on a day like today where it's Taco Tuesday. So happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Big day over on PrizePicks. It sounds like they're going to be giving us some additional tacos. For those of you who don't know, maybe this is your first time hearing about Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday is basically where PrizePicks goes out and they select, or they have us vote on different player projections that they then therefore discount for us. So we get a little bit of a softer projection, which typically means easier for that particular player to hit. But we all know that the tacos aren't always crispy and they're not always tasty, and sometimes we get some bad tacos. Hopefully today we get some good tacos. Yesterday's discount, it was not a taco per se, but Jimmy Butler points did not end up working out for us, unfortunately. Even with the discount, bringing Jimmy buckets all the way down to 16.5 points, for some inexplicable reason, maybe you guys can tell me in the live chat, Jimmy Butler was not able to get 17 points for us against the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. He did not play down the stretch when it was still within reach, where Miami could have still probably had him out there and had a chance at making a little bit of a run against Milwaukee. He was nowhere to be seen. His ass was glued to the bench. Make it make sense. Maybe you guys know what was going on. Was Jimmy Butler dealing with an injury? Did Spoelstra just like the 5 that he had out on the floor, and maybe Butler just wasn't playing his best? I have no idea. All I know is Jimmy Butler wasn't out there when we needed him to be out there, getting those last couple buckets to put us over 16.5 points. I have no idea what happened there. But hey, that was yesterday. Today's a new day. Not a whole lot as far as basketball is concerned. I think we've got, 3 NBA games. Got some pending injury news for us to kind of take a look at. So let's say what's up to everybody who's joining me live. I appreciate all 139 of you. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We've went over 100 likes. For every single one of these live streams, we've went over 100 likes each and every day. And yesterday, as a matter of fact, we set an in-season record for this NBA season. We set a record for likes yesterday. I think it was 171 total likes when it was all said and done. When the dust settled, we had set a record for most likes on an NBA live stream on yesterday's live stream. Let's see if we could break that record today. I'm all about breaking records, setting the bar even higher and higher and higher each and every day. But I can't do it without your help. So if you're watching out there, please take a second, real quick, simple, easy task. Make sure you're subscribed, ring that bell. In other words, click the bell, turn on all notifications for me so that you're alerted as soon as I go live each and every day. And then hit that like button for me, because that like button tells YouTube, hey, we should push this guy's content out to more people because he's doing some good stuff. And I would say that we are doing some pretty good stuff. Yesterday, our 6 picks that we went with ended up going 5-1 overall. 5 winning picks, only 1 losing pick in the 6-pick slip that I put together. So we went with a 6-pick flex play, and I put $20 on it. Now, if you tailed that 6-pick and you put $20 on it, basically Dub Club would be completely free for you today. You would have already paid your first month of Dub Club off. And if you don't know what Dub Club is where I post picks, winning picks each and every day for community members. So all you do is join the Dub Club. It's $20 a month. It breaks down to like 67 cents per day. Join the Dub Club. Once you've joined, connect your Dub Club account with your Discord account. And then I deliver the plays via Discord each and every day for you. If you're interested in joining the Dub Club, links down in the description, or I've left a link for you in today's live chat. But if you look at some of the folks in here, like Gutta 59, who says, y'all need to invest into CJ's Dub Club because I won $499 last night tailing his plays. Stuff like that. I mean, $20 is really not that much. 67 cents per day is not all that much. Exchange the Artist says, I was in Dub Club but couldn't find the picks. Are you in Discord? Because Discord is where the picks are being sent out. That is a good question for you to answer, my friend. Join the Dub Club, connect Discord with Dub Club, and then in Curry's Kitchen is where I post picks each and every day. So make sure you're doing all that. Anyway, James also saying he won $125 on a $5 bet with my picks yesterday. Hey, salute to you. Congratulations on the big win. Who else we got in here? Carson's in here. Brandon, shout out to you. Roy's in the building. Everyday Fantasy, a.k.a. my guy Don P. Shout out to Don P. What's up, y'all? I'm feeling like a profitable day. Hopefully it is. I mean, it's a small day. Tomorrow we got a whole bunch of games. So I'd say, pump the brakes a little bit. Don't go so heavy today. Save your money for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot more options and therefore a whole lot more value. Appreciate the super chats. I'll get to those here in just a little bit. Taylor says, let's rob PrizePicks. Absolutely. That's the goal each and every day, is to take a little bit more of the PrizePicks money and stick it in our pockets. Make sure you guys are not tailing like Drewski and Funny Marco and Andrew Schultz and the Nelk Boys. All those picks that you see in the promo app, no. Please don't follow those picks unless you want to, be back in the line to deposit and give your money away to PrizePicks even more. You're donating at that point. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Y'all be smarter. Anyway, shout out to everybody that I may have missed. But yeah, you can join the Dub Club here. Again, the link is in the live chat. I just dropped the link for you guys for those of you who want to join the Dub Club, who want to support the channel, who want to support the content. You can do that by going down to the description of the video or clicking the link that I just dropped in the live chat for you. All right. Let's get down to the beeswax, the business here. We've got some injury news that we need to definitely, absolutely take it into consideration before we go and put anything in today. Here's the key NBA news to watch. We got Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns still dealing with the ankle injury. He's considered doubtful today. Donovan Mitchell of the Cleveland Cavaliers is dealing with a hamstring issue. He is questionable. Ivica Zubac of the LA Clippers dealing with a thigh injury. He is questionable. And Karis LeVert of the Cleveland Cavaliers also dealing with a hamstring as well. What's up with those Cavaliers, man? They're dealing with these hamstrings. We're not sure what's going on there, but Cleveland got a couple of key players, Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, who are questionable. So we're going to kind of pump the brakes, take our time with the Cleveland news. I wouldn't lock anything in yet until you get confirmation if Donovan Mitchell's in or out today. Now, speaking of the Clippers, just a real quick piece of news that happened while we were probably all tucked in, sound asleep. James Harden's headed to LA, guys. He's going to be a part of the Los Angeles Clippers. Can you believe that? So they're going to have James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. Now, they did give up a plethora of veterans. They're sending those guys over to Philadelphia, guys like Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, and there was a couple other guys that were included in that trade. But James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George on the Los Angeles Clippers. It's like a bunch of guys, outside of Kawhi Leonard who did get himself a ring. A bunch of guys who are looking for rings, I guess. They're ring chasing at the kind of the tail end, latter end of their careers. I don't know if it's going to work. There's a lot of ball dominant players in that group of names that I just mentioned, and I'm just not so sure how that's going to work out. But big news nonetheless. Philadelphia, now I guess you kind of promote Tyrese Maxey to being sort of that second fiddle to Joel Embiid, and then you've got Tobias Harris as that third wheel. And so we'll see how things work out for Philly. We saw Kelly Oubre have some pretty good games so far with the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, the Clippers also got PJ Tucker. Yeah, I forgot about that. He's kind of an afterthought, I guess, when you're talking about big names like James Harden being involved in the deal. But all right, nonetheless, 160 people watching, 72 likes. Y'all get those likes up. Let's go for 100 plus before we end today's show. We got the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer up on the board. We talked about today being Taco Tuesday, meaning there's going to be a lot of different discounts on the PrizePicks board. And according to them and what they announced in their Discord, we're going to see even more discounted plays than maybe we typically would. So let's go see what's out there right now. It looks like we've got a spooky little Halloween-themed hockey taco here. Pierre-Luc Dubois, 1.5 shots on goal. He was at 2.5 shots on goal. So there's one taco for you. I thought I saw something for Julius Randle. I did. I know I wasn't crazy. 7.5 rebounds. He's been discounted from 9 down to 7.5. Now, kind of interesting, they do have Donovan Mitchell up on the board right now. So maybe they expect Donovan Mitchell to play tonight against the Knicks. Be a fun little rematch. Knicks, Cavaliers last season in the playoffs. Knicks ended up knocking Cleveland off. I think that was a big surprise for me. I did not expect Cleveland to fold like they did to the Knicks. I had a lot of high hopes, and I think a lot of people did too whenever you bring Donovan Mitchell on board and you trade for him. But it didn't work out for Cleveland. They lost to the Knicks. But Donovan Mitchell currently on the board for PrizePicks, so maybe they know something we don't, and they expect Spider to play. Being that today's stream is typically focused on, mainly focused on NBA, we'll not really discuss this NHL taco too much. We'll start with this Julius Randle taco at 7.5 rebounds. Let's just take a peek at this one because he is at 9. That's his normal line. His 9 has been discounted to 7.5 for this taco. So, I mean, you would expect maybe Julius Randle to go for more than 7.5 rebounds, being that he's a discounted projection, right? So let's start with this one. Let's take a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Like I said, these tacos are by no means considered free squares. There is still risk involved. They're not a 100% likelihood to hit. You know what I'm saying? This particular one, for example, in this case, 63.5% chance that Julius Randle has 8 or more rebounds. 63.5 is not 100%. Not even close to 100%. So just prepare yourselves. Hey, there could be a letdown with this particular discount here. There could be, but at a 63.5% chance to hit, I mean that's better than what you're going to see a lot of these picks. You got to remember when lines makers set a line on these different sports books and these different platforms, they're trying to set that line at a 50-50. They want it to be a coin flip, as close as they can to a coin flip proposition. All right. So when you get something that's like a 63.5%, the odds are greatly shifted in your favor, and you probably should take advantage of these discounts and these tacos on PrizePicks whenever you can. So let's look into this one a little bit more. We're going to apply some projections to this line. We're going to see if the 7.5 is a low enough number for us to take the over on Julius Randle today. So when we go look at these projections, we want to see a projection of 8 or more rebounds, right? Across the board. So let's do that now. We're going to look at Fantasy Labs. Fantasy Labs, a very nice tool, very accurate projections over the years. They have Julius Randle at 8.5 rebounds, gang. So that's a whole rebound projection higher than where he is at on PrizePicks at 7.5. So 8.5 is a first projection. Let's take a look at another one here. We got a site called RotoWire. You do have to pay for these projections, by the way. Fantasy Labs, RotoWire, not free, but because you know me and we're friends, I'm giving you a little bit of a sneak preview on some of these projections here. Randle projected for 9.3 rebounds on a line of 7.5. So there you go. There's another very solid projection. So we got 8.5 to 9.3. That's kind of your range of potential projected outcomes for Julius Randle on those rebounds tonight. But let's not stop there. Let's check another site. If you're looking for free projections, I can't recommend NumberFire enough for a free projection site. And in this case, their free projections, they have Julius Randle at 9.5 projected boards, 2 whole rebounds, higher than his line of 7.5 today. So you got NumberFire that has him at 9.5. You had RotoWire that had him at 9.3. You had Fantasy Labs that had him at 8.5. So 8.5 to 9.5. Your floor being 8.5, your ceiling being 9.5 of potential outcomes where Julius Randle might land tonight on these rebounds. I'm going to also give you a peek at this other tool here, which I really like. And this one is called LineStar. LineStar's got Julius Randle at 10.8 projected boards. So now we've got a floor of 8.5, a ceiling of 10.8 rebounds. So for me, again, going into this, knowing that this is not guaranteed, it's not a free square, in other words. It's not like when they had Steph Curry at 0.5 points and all he had to do was get 1 point for you to have a winning square. We know there's risk involved, right? But I think the projections, I think the numbers, all the data and everything seems to point to Julius Randle at least having 8 rebounds tonight. Now, you guys let me know. Those of you who are watching live with me in the live chat, or maybe you're catching the replay, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Are you rocking with this taco? I've shown you the numbers behind it, the data behind it. Are you taking it? Or are you going to do one of those other little okey doke moves and you're going to go Julius Randle, 9 rebounds and click less? Let me know what you're doing here. What are you thinking? Huncho says, you were right about Michael Porter Jr.'s rebounds. Listen, I'm never right. I'm never right and I'm never wrong. What I do is basically just rely on these projections, rely on the data pulled from sports books. It's not me. I have nothing to do with it. I'm reading off of the screen. I'm pretty much just presenting the news to you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't take any credit for being right or wrong on anything. But I understand what you mean. Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. did not do so well last night. Anytime PrizePicks sends out a tweet or something and they're like, oh, here's our trending picks in the community today, and Michael Porter Jr. over rebounds is one of them. Listen, that should be a big red flag for you guys. Should be a big red flag, all right? All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Are we taking Randle over the 7.5, or are we going to take him under the 9.5? Or are we going to take both? Maybe we hedge it and we take both. It looks like Omar says, yes, I'm taking it. The truck is taking it. Sounds like Matt Perez is rocking with it. Zhao J says, no Jarrett Allen for Cleveland, and they're starting Dean Wade. I'm taking the over on Randle at 7.5 rebounds. New York State of Mind taking the Randle taco. Blake's taking the Randle taco. What was the free lines website called? The free projection site is numberfire.com. They have single stat player prop projections. They have fantasy score projections for NBA, for NFL, for MLB. It's pretty great for a free site. David's liking the taco as well. Sounds like Everyday Fantasy is going to be eating some tacos for Taco Tuesday. RJ says take the taco. Brandon's taking the taco. All right, cool. So we'll kick this Randle under 9 rebounds off, being that he's projected as high as 10.8 rebounds. I think the play today is just take the discount at 7.5 for more. Let's hope he has more than 7.5 rebounds. Again, preparing you guys for potential disappointment. It's not guaranteed. These tacos are not free. They're not free squares, okay? We know that now. We knew that yesterday when Jimmy Butler at 16.5 points couldn't get the job done, right? We kind of know what to expect with a lot of these. 189 of you watching, my goodness gracious. 87 likes, 189 of you watching. That means there's like 102 of you that are sitting on your hands over there. Quit sitting on your hands, hit the like button real quick. All right, so we're gonna start things off with this. Now, we could take a safe route here. We could build a 2-pick power play and try to build some bankroll, or hear me out, we could use this first pick, add 5 more to it, and we could swing for the fences. Y'all let me know what you want to do. What are you feeling today? Are we wanting to build some bankroll, try a 2-pick power play? Or are we wanting to swing for the fences, go for the big home run, try to hit the 25X today on Taco Tuesday? Let me know. Let me know what you want to do, man. I like taking the temperature of the room, seeing what you guys are wanting to do here. All right, let's go through the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Fantastic tool, by the way. I don't make any picks unless it's coming from this Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Most of my picks start right here with this tool. If you want to take this tool for a spin, if you want to try it out, I think they're doing a 7-day free trial still. Go down to the description of today's video, click that link, take it for a spin, take it for a test drive, and then use code Curry, and I think you might even get a few bucks back. You might save a few dollars when you use my promo link and code that I've left for you guys. Special link down in the description. for you guys to try the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. 4 pick. Now, Steven, I think you're in the minority there. I don't know about no 4 picks. I'm either going 2 pick power or 6 pick flex most of the time. Most of the time, that's where I'm going. 4 pick, I don't know about that. Maybe a 5 pick flex, but not a 4 pick for me. Not for, unless I can't find 5 or 6 picks, then maybe a 4 pick, but got to be pretty desperate times. All right, Zach Collins under 28.5 fantasy score. San Antonio Spurs, big man. Let's take a look here at Zach Collins and see if he's projected to go over or under this line. We've got about a 59% chance, according to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, of Zach Collins staying under 28.5 fantasy score. So let's refresh here. We're going to go over to Fantasy Labs. We're going to look at the FanDuel projections. FanDuel projections, if you're playing any kind of fantasy projection for NBA, you're going to want to make sure that you're using FanDuel projections, okay? In this case, they've got Zach Collins projected for 31.9 fantasy score, which is more than his line. So the optimizer says take the under. They're looking at sportsbook data. They're looking at all the different markets that make up a fantasy score. And based on that, they're saying take the under. But this projection model here, Fantasy Labs, has him at almost 32 fantasy score, which kind of flies in the face of what the optimizer's suggesting we should do. And I don't like that. Typically, I avoid picks like that. Here's another projection for you, just to make sure that Fantasy Labs is not smoking some of that good. We're going to look at another projection. This one, again, provided by RotoWire. They've got Zach Collins at 33.9 fantasy score. All right, so a couple of really good projection models have Collins going over 28.5. I'm going to skip over that. I'm going to say you should probably leave that one alone too. Let's go to the next one though. Yusuf Nurkic of the Phoenix Suns. He's at 34.5 fantasy score. Here you go with another big 58.7% chance that Nurkic stays under 34.5. So once again, we're just going to look at a couple different projection models. See, are they in agreement with the optimizer, or are they in a disagreement? Maybe they're doing their own thing and they suggest we should take the over once again based on those projections. So Nurkic, we're looking for projections under 34.5. So real simple stuff here, guys. We're not doing rocket science. We're just using data to help us make our decisions, and it's worked out for us. Like I said, we went 5 for 6 on yesterday's picks. We're going to try to go for that big 25x. I got a feeling most of you want to go for a big payday today. Nurkic's first projection, although it's close, it is more than his line on PrizePicks, which again goes against what the optimizer is suggesting we should do with Nurkic and this fantasy score. So he's projected for 36.6. Again, I'm going to just check another projection model because, you know, I like to be thorough for you folks. 36.99. Let's call that 37 fantasy score. So again, you're seeing 2 different projections for Nurkic. That puts him over 34.5 fantasy score. So even though the optimizer says take the under, I'm going to just leave it alone because the data doesn't seem to be in agreement. We're not in the same boat here with Nurkic and his fantasy score projection. So onward we go. We're looking for better plays than that. I think we can find some today. Russell Westbrook, points and rebounds, 20.5. Now I'm assuming all of the players that were included in that Clippers trade are not going to be active. Who was that? Marcus Morris. You guys remind me of the rest of the names. Robert Covington. Who else was involved in that trade? Remind me. There was a few different vets that the Clippers shipped out to Philadelphia, but maybe that means more minutes for guys like Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George is what I'm kind of getting at here. So maybe going under on these Clippers may not be the move, but again, we're going to just trust the data here. They're going against the Orlando Magic, my Orlando Magic, who took the Los Angeles Lakers to the wire last night, but came up short, losing by 3, unfortunately. So the Magic are on it back-to-back. They're taking on the Clippers tonight. So you got Westbrook at 20.5 points and rebounds, 54% chance that he goes under 20.5 points and rebounds. So now that we know that the plus EV move on the PR line for Russell Westbrook is to go under, let's go check out some projection models here. Now, these models have already taken into consideration the fact that the Clippers have made this trade and that certain players will not be available for Los Angeles tonight. So we don't have to worry about all that. The models take that into consideration for us. Here's what I'll tell you. First projection for Russell Westbrook, 18.9. We could round that up and call it 19 points and rebounds. But even at 19, that's less than 20.5 and a whole lot less than the 21 that it would take for Russell Westbrook to sink our ship if we decided to take the under on the line of 20.5 PR. All right, so this first projection looks good. It actually is in agreement with the optimizer. So I like what I'm seeing there. Second projection for Russell Westbrook, points and rebounds. You got him at 20.8 on a line of 20.5 according to Numberfire, or RotoWire in this case. Really close projection, really close. Slightly more than 20.5, however. Let's also check out LineStar real quick. LineStar has Russell Westbrook's points and rebounds line set at 22. So now you have a second projection that has Russell Westbrook going over 20.5 points and rebounds by just a little bit. And last but not least, we've got Numberfire here. They've got Westbrook at 12.5 points plus 5.1 rebounds, 17.6 projected points and rebounds for Russ. So two projections, pretty close to the line of 20.5. Two projections that have him going well under his line of 20.5. So Numberfire Fantasy Lab says take the under, which is probably what I would lean with because I trust Fantasy Labs. I trust Numberfire in this case. And you're seeing some of the sports books, they have Russell Westbrook at 19.5 points and rebounds, which is a whole point and rebound lower. So you are getting some value here on this pick. If we were to assume that the lines makers on sites like DraftKings and Barstool Sports and Caesars and BetMGM, if we were to assume that they're good at their jobs and that the data that they use to create these lines is good data, well, they've got him at 19.5, where PrizePicks has him at 20.5. So let's hope and assume that these lines makers on these different sports books are pretty good at their jobs, right? We'll take Westbrook for less than 20.5. Now, for those of you who are more in the two-pick camp, this would be probably a fine two-pick power play. And you can put up to $25 on this discounted Julius Randle rebound play. So you could risk 25 and win up to 3 times your money, making 50 net dollars if you wanted to. So you could go this route, or we could keep building. All right. And I think a lot of you, from what it sounded like, wanted to keep building. Dorf, you said currently watching from your physiology class. Uh-oh. Y'all see that, right? See what just happened there? One of the things that is probably the most frustrating when playing on PrizePicks is that they will bump lines. They will bump them up. They will bump them down. We were looking at Russell Westbrook for less than 20.5 points and rebounds. And so in this case, they have bumped him down. Down. Not what you want to see. All right. Well, it was fun. It was real while it lasted, Mr. Westbrook. But we got to remove him because he's been bumped down. So let's keep looking. Let's keep looking and seeing what we got here. The party doesn't stop just because PrizePicks wants to bump our lines. The party doesn't stop there. Donovan Mitchell's at 6.5 assists, 54% chance that he goes over 6.5 times. We're still waiting on Donovan Mitchell news. For me, I'm going to leave the Cavaliers alone until we get a clearer picture. Who's in, who's out for Cleveland. We talked about Karis LeVert, Donovan Mitchell, both being questionable, both dealing with hamstring issues. So we can keep it moving. Jeremy Sohan for under a 3-point make. I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't like playing those 0.5 projection or props. I'm going to leave that one right where it's at and skip over it and go to Devin Vassell of the San Antonio Spurs, who's at 30 fantasy score. Now, the optimizer saying we should be thinking about taking the over on Devin Vassell at 30. giving us almost a 54% chance of him going over 30 fantasy score. So let's go take a peek at Devin Vassell and his fantasy score projections. Here's one, 29.68 fantasy score. Really close to 30, but not quite as high as we would have liked to see. Second projection for Vassell, 31.67. That does put him over the 30 mark. Cool with that. Taking a look at his projection here on Line Star, they got him at 28.75. That ain't going to be enough to get the job done. And then Devin Vassell's at 30.5. It's too close for comfort here. So let's skip that one. Let's keep looking. Here's a combo play for you combo players out there. Maybe you live in a state like Alabama where all you can play is combo picks. I think that's still legally the only thing that you're allowed to play in the state of Alabama. You've got Kawhi Leonard and Paolo Banchero over 40.5 points, 53.7% chance of this one hitting. I won't spend the time going into the combos. I don't play those a whole lot. I think they're kind of trappy. They always feel kind of trappy to me, so I'll leave that one alone. Let's see what else we got here, though. Mitchell Robinson for less than 24.5 fantasy score. About a 53.5% chance of Mitchell Robinson staying under 24.5 fantasy points. Let's go check him out real quick. First projection has him at 28. Not what you want to see. Second projection for Robinson's got him at 28.3. All right, that's a fade for me. We'll skip him. Not a lot, guys. Not a lot. You might have to go multi-sport today. You may have to go a little NBA, mixed with a little bit of NHL, mixed with like you got a baseball game, maybe some esports. I don't get into esports a whole lot, but you might have to go multi-sport to build a 6-pick today. It might be tough to go 6. Isaac Okoro, again, a Cleveland Cavalier here, so we're still waiting to see. Is Mitchell in? Is Karis LeVert in for Cleveland? Before we start touching any Cleveland props, I think that's important news, so we'll leave that one alone. Paolo Banchero, we talked about him. He struggled last night. He struggled last night against the Lakers, got into a lot of foul trouble in the first half. Played a little better in the second half, but overall, not what you wanted to see from Banchero. He didn't shoot well. Neither did a lot of his teammates, Franz Wagner, Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony. They kind of struggled as a team overall to shoot the ball. But Banchero's at 16.5 points, which is the lowest we've seen him in quite some time. I know a lot of the time last season, he was always right around 18.5, 19.5 points. But we're getting him at 16.5. He's come out kind of slow to start the season. But maybe tonight is a bounce back night for him. 53.2% chance that he's going to go over 16.5 points. The Magic, one of those teams, like I talked about yesterday, one of those teams that are going to be very difficult to figure out from game to game. Who's going to be that dude on any given night? Last night, that dude was a little bit of Franz Wagner. Last night, that dude was a little bit of Gary Harris off the bench. 5 for 5 from three-point land, 6 for 6 from the field. Gary Harris had a good night. So it's random each and every night. But Banchero's first projection here on his points, 18.6 on a line of 16.5. Love that projection. 2.1 projected points different. Very sexy first projection for Paolo Banchero. Second projection, 17.7. That's more than 16.5, so we're 2 for 2 on the projections for Banchero's points tonight. A third projection for Banchero, only 13.2 according to Line Star. They're very underweight on Paolo Banchero tonight. They don't think he's going to score very well against the Clippers. Let's go to Number Fire. Number Fire's got him all the way up at 18.4. So if we look at everything here holistically, right, we got 4 different projection models. 3 of the 4 have Banchero going over 16.5 pretty easily. He is a plus EV play, over a 53% chance of him going over 16.5. So if we rock with the data here, the models and everything, then going over on Banchero's points looks like a fine play. Oh, but what do you know? He's not at 16.5 anymore. Huh. He's now at 17.5. Wow. Well, isn't that sad? Okay. Forget everything I just said because it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. It's a fade, James. You're right, James. It's a fade. It's a fade. We leave it alone. We leave it alone. If anything, maybe we even think about taking the under on Banchero at 17.5 at this point. What else do we have? PrizePicks is watching the live stream. Hey, it would be pathetic if that is the case. I hope that's not the case. We talked about Westbrook earlier for points and rebounds. That one got bumped down to 20, but we've got rebounds and assists that we can look at here. 13.5. Let's go check PrizePicks real quick before we go talking about Russell Westbrook, and his line's already sitting there at like 16 or something. Let's go see. Where's he at? 13.5. What did we say his line was? 13.5. Okay, cool. Let's look at this one then. 53.2% chance that Westbrook goes under 13.5 rebounds and assists. So let's run the numbers here on Westbrook. First projection, 13.9. Not what you want to see if you're thinking about taking the under at 13.5. Second projection for Westbrook, rebounds and assists, 12.8. So that is a good projection. That has him going under 13.5. Let's check out a third projection here. Westbrook sitting at 16 rebounds and assists on LineStar. They've got him going well over. So this is looking like a dicey play already right out of the gate. And then you got him for 5.1 rebounds with another 6.1 or 6.7 for the assist. So that puts him at 11.8. So you got two projection models have him going under, two have him going over. So, it's going to be one of them plays. I mean, the optimizer says take the under on Westbrook. Two of the models say take the under, but two of the models also say take the over. So that could be a spicy one, We'll leave him in there as a placeholder just for now until hopefully we find something better. Mitchell Robinson, 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. They're looking to take the under based on the sportsbook data that they're pulling here for Mitchell Robinson. So 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We're looking for anything 16 or lower on these projections. Let's go find out if we've got that. And we do not, man. Mitchell Robinson projecting really well on a lot of these models today. 18.5 PRA. So he's not a good PrizePicks play for the under on Fantasy Score or PRA. He's also projected for 18.6 on RotoWire. So he could stay right where he's at. We're not going to be taking the under on his Fantasy Score or the under on the PRA on PrizePicks. At least I wouldn't. You can, but I'm leaving that one alone. Zubac was on the injury report for the Clippers. We're not sure if he's going to be in or out tonight. If he's out, then Mason Plumlee would obviously get elevated to the starting lineup. And your Ivica Zubac plays would then become DNPs on PrizePicks. Okay. Evan Mobley, Cavalier, 14.5 rebounds and assists. He is projected, or based on the odds, is an overplay. 53.1% chance of him going over this line. So 15 or more rebounds and assists for Evan Mobley, 53.1% chance of this happening. Let's take a look at emo. Speaking of emo, Jimmy Butler had me emo yesterday. I hate to keep going back to it, but he had me emo yesterday after his poor performance. Emo Jimmy had me feeling kind of emo. But now we got a different emo. Evan Mobley. I don't know that Donovan Mitchell and or Karis LeVert would impact Evan Mobley a whole lot on a rebounds and assists line, but let's look at it. Jarrett Allen is out, as somebody mentioned. Dean Wade will be starting in the front court opposite Evan Mobley. But at 14.5 rebounds and assists, you do have over a 53% chance of Mobley coming through for you tonight. So let's take a look at him. He's projected for just 12.7 rebounds and assists at this time. Not a good first projection if you're thinking over on Mobley. 14.9 on RotoWire puts him over 14.5. Barely, but it does put him over. And then we've got Evan Mobley's rebounds and assists at 15.1 on LineStar. That does, again, put him over. And then we'll also check out Number Fire here. So we got 2 overs, 1 under on the projection for Evan Mobley. This third and final projection has him at 11.9 boards. That's pretty strong. Plus another 3.5 dimes puts him at 15.4. So you could take a shot on Evan Mobley here for more than his 13.5 or 14.5. What was it? 14.5 rebounds and assists. So you could go over on that. Again, this is a day of of very limited options, my friends. I wish there was more, but you know, we're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken, if you know what I'm talking about. Gutta says, we can't find anything today. Should we all fade? I mean, play lightly. I said it at the top of the show. You're not going to go crazy on a 3-game NBA slate. At least I wouldn't, especially when there's pending news that we're still waiting on. I mean, it's probably going to be chaotic, I would say. It's probably going to be one of those nights where take some taco plays, maybe go 2-pick power on a lot of your options, and you know, you'd have to be very fortunate, I think, tonight to hit a 6-pick flex, unless you go multi-sport. In other words, mixing some NBA with some NHL and, you know, going that route. But yeah, it's probably gonna be one of those ugly nights. I'm just preparing you guys for the worst now. We really need the tacos to help us out and to clutch up today. We're hoping for good taco plays because it's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be hard to find some other options, I think. It's gonna be one of them nights, my friends. It's gonna be one of them nights. Let's see what else we got here. Paolo Banchero at 6.5 rebounds, 53% chance that he goes under 6.5 boards. Let's go check that out. I took Paolo Banchero for less than the rebound and assist line last night. He did end up staying under. Maybe tonight he stays under his rebound line once again. He's projected for 7 boards. Here we go again. Projected for 7 boards on Fantasy Labs. He's at 7.5 boards over here on RotoWire. So this is, again, flying in the face of what we saw on the optimizer. Here we go, 5.6 rebounds. So Line Stars got him going well under 6.5 boards at 5.6. So we got 2 projections for the over, 1 projection for the under. Here's another one that's got him at 7 rebounds. So Banchero at 6.5 boards. Again, looking like one of them plays that are just going to be a little dicey, man. Chris Day says Julius Randle has the taco curse. All right. Well, let's turn things over to you guys. That's, you know, that's the rundown on the board. Your top plays on the optimizer, and you know, it's not looking sexy, and sometimes it's just going to be like that. But I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the super chats that you guys left for me. Maybe you guys are on some plays that I'm not seeing here, some stuff that we're overlooking. Let's start with Last in Limbo. Last in Limbo said, hey, Curry, first play for me, Wendell Carter Jr. over his points and rebounds. So going back to that Orlando and Los Angeles game, let's go Wendell Carter Jr. for more on his points and rebounds. And if you guys have questions that you want me to kind of like address or picks that you want to take a look at, let me know. Use the super chat function, help support the channel, and make sure that your question is read and that your voice is heard, and guarantees a response from yours truly. There's 237 of you and only 1 of me, so it's going to be difficult for me to get to everybody's comment and question. That's where the super chats kind of get you ahead of the game, in front of the line, so to speak. Last in Limbo left another super chat. He says he was in last year. I guess he was in Patreon at the time last year. He joined again this past weekend. He won $635 in one night with the help of Curry. That's me. Really gotta check it out. So Last in Limbo's loving the Dub Club. I appreciate that. I'll leave the link again for the Dub Club in the live chat if you guys are interested in checking out the Dub Club for yourself. We got great community members like Last in Limbo in there who are enjoying their time and in their experience at just $20 a month, guys. It will definitely pay itself back here shortly. Last in Limbo leaving another super chat. Paolo Banchero over on his assists, and he's looking at Yusuf Nurkic over on the points and rebounds. So let's pull both of those guys up as well. And we're gonna do some live research and analysis here on these different options. So there's Banchero's assists. He's liking Banchero for more than 3.5 assists. And then he's also mentioning Nurkic of the Phoenix Suns at points and rebounds. He wants to take the over 23.5 points and rebounds. So we've got the Randle discount. We talked about maybe Russell Westbrook. He's a maybe at 13.5 rebounds and assists for less Evan Mobley, maybe over 14.5 rebounds and assists. Keep an eye on the Donovan Mitchell and Karis LeVert news. Then you got these three that last in limbo just dropped on us. Wendell Carter Jr. over 20.5 points and rebounds. Paolo Banchero over 3.5 assists. And then Yusuf Nurkic over 23.5 points and rebounds. So let's start with Wendell Carter Jr. 20.5 points and rebounds. Quite frankly, he got his ass handed to him last night by Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was looking like the Anthony Davis, that we've all kind of come to know and love, at least when he was with New Orleans and some of his time with the Lakers. He played really well last night. Balled up my Orlando Magic. But Wendell Carter Jr. at 20.5 points and rebounds, looking to bounce back tonight after getting reamed by the brow. 51.7% chance that he's going to get 21 or more combination of points and rebounds. Now, he is on a back-to-back. They did play the Lakers last night. I don't know how that's going to impact these Orlando Magic boys. Maybe they're going to get run over again by another LA team this evening. We'll just have to wait and see. But at this moment, yes, Wendell over points and rebounds is a plus EV play. About a 51.75% chance that he gets 21 or more points and rebounds. So now that we know that, let's check some projections. 19.7. That is not quite enough, right? We wanted to see a little bit of a higher projection on a line of 20.5. First projection being 19.7. Not good there. Not good. Second projection for Wendell. Points and rebounds. You've got him all the way up at 25 points and rebounds. That's his projection on RotoWire. Huge over there. Huge. Let's see if we can find some more overs to kind of support the idea, the notion that Wendell is going to get 21 or more points and rebounds. Looking at Line Star in this case, 16.4 points and rebounds. That is a far cry from an over at 20.5. That is a big fat under if I've ever seen one. So that's not looking good. And then we also got Wendell Carter at 10.6 points and 18.4 points and rebounds. That would put him at 19 points and rebounds. So with my money, I cannot in good faith take Wendell Carter Jr. over 20.5 points and rebounds. I'm going to go with these projection models, 3 out of the 4, which have Carter going under 20.5 points and rebounds. And I'm just going to leave him off. He's a fade for me. There's a lot of fades tonight. If you guys aren't noticing, there's a trend happening here. You could either go with the optimizer or you could go with these projection models. You're going to have to take a stand, though. But I'm not finding a lot of good correlated plays. In other words, where the optimizer and these projection models are kind of in sync with one another. I'm not finding a lot of that. And I don't like that. It's scary. It's scary. Paolo Banchero at 3.5 assists is the next play that Last in Limbo had mentioned. We're going to go through this one as well. Starting with, is this a plus EV play or not? That's kind of where everything starts. The first question, is it a plus EV play? In this case, yes, 52% chance that he goes over 3.5 assists. 52% chance of going over 3.5 assists. So yes, it is a plus EV play, but is it projecting well too? Because that's kind of my second filter that I ask myself. It's one thing to be a plus EV play, but where it really shines is whenever the projections are kind of going along with the fact that it is a plus EV play. And in this case, it is 3.9 projected assists, putting him right there at 4. We need 4 or more dimes by Banchero tonight to cash. And in this case, 3.9 is more than 3.5. So let's move on. Let's check some other projections. Banchero, 3 assists on RotoWire, excuse me. So 3.0, 3.9, 1 over, 1 under projection. Let's keep looking at these other ones. Line Star, what do they say? They say Banchero for 4.2 assists. It is literally the only Banchero line out of everything that's on Line Star that has green, meaning green go over. It's the only one where he's projected to go over his assists. 4.2 assists on a line of just 3.5. So you got 2 projections for the over. You got 1 projection for the under so far. And then we'll go over to Number Fire real quick and see how things are checking out here for Banchero. And that doesn't really help us at all because he's projected for exactly 3.5 dimes. So you got 2 overs, 1 tie, and then you got 1 line where he's less than 4.5. Again, it's a short slate, right? There's only 3 NBA games. There's going to be some risk taking more than usual involved here. So we'll leave Banchero in at more than 3.5 assists. Is it my favorite based on what we've looked at together? I don't know. He'd be a candidate for me. If we were cutting players from our entry, he'd probably be like one of the guys in the first round of cuts. Okay. We might cut him first at 3.5 assists. Like I maybe would take Evan Mobley over him or Russell Westbrook over him. But you guys saw the data. I mean, do with the information that I'm providing what you will. It's going to be a tough night for NBA, though. Jusuf Nurkic, 23.5 points and rebounds. More was another play that you had mentioned, Mr. Last in Limbo. Let's run that one real quick through the ringer here. Let's put it through its paces. All right, is it a plus EV play, points and rebounds for Jusuf Nurkic to go over? No, it's not. No, it's not. 51.1% chance of Nurkic going under, in fact. All right. Really weird looking night. It's Halloween. I mean, would you expect anything any different on a Halloween night for things to look really weird tonight? It's only fitting, right? It's only appropriate. 24.4 points and rebounds for Nurkic. So even though he is a plus EV play to go under in this case, he is projected to go over. So here we go. We have a decision to make. Are we going to go with projections? Are we going to go with the plus EV move? What are we going to do? We got options here. 26.7 projected points and rebounds, another over favoring Jusuf Nurkic and the points and rebounds category. Heading over to Line Star, we take a look at what they've got for Jusuf Nurkic. It's mixed. You see some overs, some unders, but in this case, we're looking at points and rebounds where he's projected for just 19.1, putting him under, which again goes along with the optimizer in this case. And then last but not least, number fires coming through. They've got Nurkic at 12.7 points plus another 9.5 rebounds, putting him at 22.2. Which again is just not going to cut it. With his line being 23.5, that would be another under. So I'm fading it. I don't love it, man. But again, if you want to play NBA tonight, you're gonna have to be willing to have some risky picks in there. Is what I'm kind of seeing here. What else do we have? We got some other super chats coming through. Blaine, shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. Blaine's asking about Grayson Allen of the Phoenix Suns. His PRA line. Let's pop that one in there. Maybe we got something good with Grayson Allen PRA. He's at 17.5 going against the San Antonio Spurs. You are wanting to go over on this line. Couple of other super chats trickling in. Thank you for those, my friends. Last in Limbo says a weird one. Well, it's only fitting that it would be a weird one, Last in Limbo, for Halloween. Weird one, but what about Jalen Brunson over field goal attempts and Markelle Fultz over points? Okay, a little 2-for-1 special there. Let's look at Brunson first and foremost. Over field goal attempts. Man, this search function's really, really pissing me off lately. You guys see that? How it like resets on you? Is that not the most annoying thing, huh? Field goal attempts, 16.5. All right. And then you're also talking Fultz for some points, going over his points. Now, Fultz shot the ball quite a bit last night. He's not one of your top scoring options, but Fultz was shooting. All right, here we go. We gotta cut somebody. And I mentioned Paolo Banchero's assist might be one of my first cuts. We'll cut Banchero so that we can get Fultz in here. Mr. Fultz. And then Everyday Fantasy was mentioning that Luc Dubois over 1.5 shots on goal today, the taco play that's up on the board. He's liking that one. And he's also liking some PG-13 over 5 rebounds. And we talked about all the guys that were traded from the Clippers. A lot of them being sort of forward or front court style players like your Marcus Morrises, your Robert Covingtons. I think someone said Nick Batum was also involved in that trade. So maybe Paul George is in there for a little bit longer, especially if Ivica Zubac is out. Then you might see even more Paul George playing some more of that like small forward, power forward type spot. So Paul George over rebounds could be another option. Who do we kick between these two? We're waiting on Cleveland news. I'm going to say kick Mobley. We'll leave Russell Westbrook in there. And let's add Paul George to the party here for more than 5 rebounds. We're going to look at that one. Put that one under the microscope as well. So we're looking at Brunson over 16.5 field goal attempts, Fultz over 12.5 points, and we're looking at Paul George for more than 5 rebounds. And we can't forget about our guy Grayson Allen at 17.5 PRA. So let's start it off at the top here with Grayson Allen. We're hunting, guys. Today, we're digging deep. You guys want basketball picks, NBA picks, we're digging deep. It's going to be one of them days where we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, where we're having to get uncomfortable here if we want to play some basketball picks. Now, you were wanting to take Grayson Allen over on his PRA line, correct, Blaine? Yeah, you said over on 17.5 PRA. 52.5%, however, chance that he is going to go under 17.5 PRA. So I know that you came into this wanting to go over, but I'll tell you this. You're seeing Grayson Allen at 16.5 PRA on some of these sports books, which is not good. Now, if we saw him at 18.5 on some of these sports books while he's at 17.5 on PrizePicks, I'd say, okay, maybe the over. But we're not seeing that in this case. We're seeing him at 16.5 on Caesars, on BetMGM, on Barstool, on DraftKings. He's actually a point lower on his PRA, which is not good. So he's at 17.5 now. So let's run some projections on Grayson Allen and see how things are looking for Grayson Allen. He is projected for 19.1. Someone saying that they got him at 16.5. Kobe PrizePicks says he's got him at 16.5. Well, if you got him at 16.5, then you're probably sitting pretty. 17.5, a little hesitant on that one. But he is projected for 19.1. So 16.5 was probably where the value was at for the over. He did not say what value Grayson Allen's PRA. Blaine, you didn't specify the value, so maybe he got bumped from 16.5 when you posted that super chat to 17. That was only 12 minutes ago. He could have gotten bumped though in that time. He's at 20.2 points, rebounds, and assists versus the Spurs tonight at RotoWire. So that's another huge over for Grayson Allen on his PRA line. Now, if you can still get Grayson Allen at 16.5 PRA somewhere else outside of PrizePicks, then I'd say run, don't walk. Go get him over 16.5 PRA. He's projected for 17.4 here on LineStar. And then on Number Fire, they've got him at... what are we looking at here? 10.5 points, plus another 3.9 boards and another 2.7 assists, bringing his total to 17.1 PRA. So yeah, the 16.5 looks like good money. If you got him at 16.5, more power to you. At 17.5, it gets a little bit tighter. So we'll leave that one alone. 20 minutes till the Knicks game starts. No. What are you talking about? What time zone are you? Are you from the future or something, bro? What do you mean 20 minutes? What do you mean 20 minutes till the Knicks game starts? What? This man's living in the future, bro. He's got a doggone time machine. Are you saying that the discount goes away? Is that what you're saying? That the discount goes away here soon? Yeah, 25 minutes. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what are you talking about? Are they running like a special Halloween schedule for NBA that I did not know about? But no, he's just saying that the Julius Randle discount at 7.5 rebounds will expire in 25 minutes. I got you. Tell us the score. Exactly. Trey Prince, we need him to tell us what's going to happen tonight. Since he's from the future, it sounds like you're living in a different time. So I don't know. Please tell us what's going to happen, and then we can bet accordingly. Wouldn't that be something? You guys have seen Back to the Future, right? Where they have the sports almanac, and Biff gets really wealthy. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch Back to the Future. One of the greatest movies out there. Anyway, yeah, he's right. The Randle taco does expire in about 25 minutes. All right, let's keep moving. If you got Grayson Allen at 16.5, you the man or the woman. But at 17.5, to the streets he goes. He's out of here. Jalen Brunson, we're looking at his 16.5 field goal attempts going up against Cleveland tonight. Jalen Brunson, we're looking for 17 or more field goal attempts. Let's see if we got that. Now, we do have a couple of sites that may offer some projections on such a line, so we'll see if we can find those. We'll start with RotoWire. You got to dig a little deep here. RotoWire's got this projections page. It's not so overtly obvious where to find this, but they've got Jalen Brunson projected for 15.4 field goal attempts. Now, you were wanting to go over at 16.5, but I've got him projected for 15.4. Now, I do believe that Number Fire has a projection for field goal attempts too, but much like RotoWire, you have to dig a little deeper. So you're going to click on Jalen Brunson's name. This page will pop up. Then you'll scroll down just a little bit to game logs. And under this section, you will see that he is going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 10/31/23. That's today's date. You'll head over to the field goal FGM-A, field goal makes and attempts. Now, they've got him projected for 17.3 field goal attempts. So 17.3 and 15.4. Let's just average those together. 17.3 plus 15.4. Divide by 2, you get about 16.3 field goal attempts. They've rounded this line up to 16.5. So it's a tight line. It's another one of those lines where, gosh, it just doesn't feel comfortable. Let's look at Props.Cash. Let's bust out another one of the tools in my toolkit. It's Props.Cash. This is going to allow us to look at some game logs, some historical data on a line like a field goal attempts for Jalen Brunson. And for me, I just want to look at the this season, 2023, which isn't a very big sample size, but we could at least kind of see how many times in the early stages of the season that he's gone over his field goal attempts. Now, he is averaging 18.7 field goal attempts per game to start the season. He's 2 for 3 thus far. He had 21 attempts against Boston, 21 attempts against Atlanta, before coming down to just 14 field goal attempts against New Orleans. So on average, if you take those 3 games and you average them together, 18.7 field goal attempts. So you can see how cool Props.Cash is. I mean, if there's a stat out there that you're wanting to look into deeply, Props.Cash more than likely has it on their app. Use code Curry. You'll save 25% off your first month of Props.Cash. There's links down in the description for all this stuff here, including one for Props.Cash to get you that discount. But yes, going back to what we were saying here about Brunson, he is averaging 18.7 field goal attempts per game this season. So he's gone over in 2 out of 3 for what it's worth. Now, we could also take a look back at like previous games, matchups against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, a lot of this is going to be last season. Last season, I don't know how relevant it will be for this season, but taking a look here at where he's at, we can take this and we can dial it up to about 16. We'll go 16 here. And you can see that he has gone for 17 or more field goal attempts, which is what we would want if we're thinking about taking the over against Cleveland in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. 7 games out of a total of, what do we have, 9? 7 for 9 against Cleveland, again, dating back to last season, but 7 out of 9 games, he's gone over 16.5 field goal attempts versus Cleveland. So that's kind of the cool part about Props.Cash, the power of this tool. And they've got mobile apps and stuff like that, so you can definitely check this out for yourself. But yeah, I mean, for a slate like tonight where there's only 3 NBA games and we're really, like I said, scraping the bottom of the barrel, looking for any possible edge or value that we can get, maybe you take a shot on Jalen Brunson over 16.5 field goal attempts. He's projected for 16.3. That's an average of 2 different models that I was able to find. And, you know, that puts him right there in the mix between 16 and 17 field goal attempts tonight. So Maybe you go with that. Looking at these next two plays, you got Fultz at 12.5 points, PG at 5 rebounds. So let's start with Markelle Fultz. Like I said, this Orlando Magic team is going to be one that's going to be pretty frustrating to figure out from one game to the next. Who's going to step up each and every night for Orlando? They really have just so much talent that anyone can step up on any given night. So Fultz is going to be at 12.5 points. The under is actually the optimal or plus EV way to play Fultz tonight at 12.5, the under. So you were wanting to go over, but 52.5% chance, let's call it, that he goes under tonight. So we'll run the projections for Markelle Fultz and just kind of see what's what here. He is projected for 13 on Fantasy Labs, putting him over 12.5. 12.4 on RotoWire on a line of 12.5. Oh, not loving this already. 10 projected points on a line of 12.5. And last but not least, NumberFire. They got him at 12.3. So I'm not seeing enough really strong like projections for Fultz over 12.5 points. I'm just not seeing enough here to love the over on Markelle Fultz on these 12.5. He's got to go, man. I got to kick him out. Just not loving it. You guys are seeing what's happening today, right? There's just not a lot to love. There's not a lot that's looking good here. Paul George at 5 rebounds. How's that one stacking up for us? Let's go check it. Appreciate all 127 likes, but there is 209 of you here. And I think we could do a little better than that as far as the likes go. I think there's some meat on the bone where we can maybe get to 150 likes. Paul George sitting at 5 boards, literally about as close to a coin flip as you can get, guys. 5 rebounds, 50% chance that he goes over. 5 rebounds, 49.8% chance that he goes under. So you're looking at one that could tie, that could push, that could be, one of those ones where he lands on exactly 5 rebounds. He's projected for 5.3. Now, if Zubac is out, maybe that makes PG's rebounds a little bit more interesting for the over. Here's a projection for you at 6.2 rebounds for Paul George, putting him over 5. Here's another projection for you given to us by LineStar. LineStar's got him at 4 rebounds. So we're just all over the place, man. All over the place tonight. 5.9 rebounds as a projection on NumberFire. There you go. That's what you're looking at for Paul George and those rebounds. Just another one of those strange little projections, we'll say. It's not really much of a plus CV play. It's not really projecting out of this world. It's tough sledding today, folks. Tough sledding. Everyday Fantasy, I hope that kind of helps you, though. Shines a little light on that Paul George play. And, of course, the Luc Dubois taco will be one to play as well. Anything popping up here? Anything new on the optimizer? I don't think it's really, nothing new has really kind of shown itself here. Did we look at KD under fantasy score at 50? Kevin Durant at 50 fantasy score. You got about a 54% chance of KD going under. Let's see if these projection models feel the same about Durant going under. Well, the first one's got him at 52.3 projected fantasy score. Second projection's got him all the way down at 47.96. We can call that 48. Let's round it up. Third projection for Kevin Durant. By the way, I'm using FanDuel projections, and you should be too. If you're looking at fantasy score projections, FanDuel is the projection source that you want to look at. FanDuel scoring is exactly like PrizePicks scoring when it comes to fantasy score. KD 46.8 fantasy score. So there's 2 sites that have KD going under 50 tonight. And then last but not least, we'll also take a look at NumberFire. NumberFire's got Kevin Durant sitting at 50.9. Real close to 50.1. Let me see. I got another site here, FTN. Let's run their projection models real quick on Kevin Durant. They got KD at 50.1. So that 50 is a very sharp number. It is a very sharp number. Tough, 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 tough. It's looking tough tonight, friends. It's looking tough. Eric Gordon, under 16.5 points. We haven't talked about this one at all. 53.3% chance that EG is under 16.5. Let's check that one. Maybe that's got some value. Eric Gordon, what do you know? He's projected for 17.7 points. So although the optimizer says take the under, he is projected to go over. He's at 13.5 points over on RotoWire, so that's quite a bit less than 16.5. Taking a look at where he's at on LineStar, LineStar's got him at 17.6 points, it looks like, which is an over. And then NumberFire's got him at 16.1. Just all over the place tonight, aren't we? Doesn't that seem to be the case? These projections and the optimizer, and I mean, just all over the place. I mean, maybe this is one of those nights where you just take like something weird, like Quentin Grimes under a turnover or something. I don't know. All right, chat. What are we seeing here? Everyday Fantasy asked about the NHL Taco. I think he said he's taking the over on the NHL Taco. I think that was more of a statement than a question. But yeah, I wish you could put the NHL Taco with the NBA Taco. Wouldn't that be nice? Here's what you're looking at for the NHL Taco. 1.5 shots on goal for Pierre-Luc Dubois. About a 66.2% chance that he goes over 1.5 shots on goal. His line is at 2.5 on all major sports books. So true odds of him hitting, minus 249. So, I mean, there's just a little bit of a peek, a little bit of insight for you guys on the NHL Taco, the Hockey Taco, the Choco Taco. Back to NBA, though. Here's Zach Collins over 6.5 rebounds. I don't think we've looked at that one yet. 54% chance that he clears 6.5 boards. So we need 7 or more. Let's run the projections on him. And I'm going to refresh these models just in case they've changed, because they do change. They are dynamic. They move throughout the day. So a projection now doesn't mean, you know, it's going to be projected favorably later. But here we got Zach Collins at 8.2 big boards going up against the Suns. Right? Let's see what else we got. 9.8. All right, this is looking kind of sexy. This might be the first one that I'm actually like rocking with. All right, LineStar's coming in a little lightweight, 5.6 boards. What about NumberFire? NumberFire, they're going to have Zach Collins up at 7.3. So 3 out of 4 models like Collins to go over his rebounds. I don't think I'm going to play around anymore. With time running out on this Julius Randle Taco, we got to find something. And I think I'm going to take Zach Collins over 6.5 boards and not waste any more time. This will probably get bumped to 7. I could see Zach Collins getting bumped up to 7 rebounds, but how about that? We'll go with that. A 2-pick power play, since it's been so difficult to find 5 or even 6 plays that look worthwhile. Let's go with a 2-pick power play. And we'll go Julius Randle over 7.5 rebounds with Zach Collins over 6.5. Again, Collins, about a 54% chance that he's going to clear 6.5 boards. He's projecting well on 3 out of 4 models. Loving what I'm seeing there. So not many solid options, but out of the options that we have looked at, I think this one kind of looked the most solid. So how about that? Devin Booker is out. Devin Booker out. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Late breaking news. I think we all kind of assumed that Devin Booker would be out today. Eric Gordon's assists without Devin Booker. Let's go find this guy. You guys are making some noise about Eric Gordon's assists. Well, he's not even on the board, at least not on PrizePicks for assists. What's his assist line? 2.5, did you guys say? I can't find it. Yeah, 2.5 assists. Where's he at? Is he even on? I don't think he's on PrizePicks, Eric Gordon. Can we see past entries? I mean, I've got everything on Pickett. If you want to see my past performance, it's all here. Here's a screenshot or whatever from Dub Club. I'm up over 141 units. Lil Steve. Download Pickett. Good time for you to download Pickett. It's free. They pay you $3 just for downloading the app and creating an account. And yeah, you can start tracking all your bets on Pickett. So yeah, that's on my Dub Club page. Link to the Dub Club in the live chat. But yeah, I don't see Eric Gordon on here for 2.5 assists. Let's go and run some projections for him. In case you do have the opportunity to grab Eric Gordon at 2.5 assists elsewhere, he's projected for 3.6 right here. So that could be a nice little over option for you. 3.2 over on RotoWire. So yeah, if you could get Eric Gordon at 2.5 assists with Devin Booker being out, I think it's probably a pretty good look. I don't see him there on Line Star. And then I've got him at 2.9, so we'll call it 3 assists over on Number Fire. So there you go. What else? Anything else? Chris stays like an Eric Gordon for 18.5 points, points and assists. Seti Osman for 7.5. Interesting. Let's just run some quick info on some of these guys. Seti at 7.5 points. I mean, I'm not even seeing him on the optimizer yet. Where are you seeing Seti Osman at? I don't know that he's even on PrizePicks yet. He is at 8.2 projected points, so you could go there, go that route if you wanted to take Seti. Locked Pat. Appreciate all the likes, guys. 142 of you liked this stream. Like I said, yesterday we set a record for this NBA season at 171 likes. I'm trying to see if we could break that record. What do y'all think? Can we do that? New York State of Mind says you can get Eric Gordon on underdog at 2.5 times. Well, go get him. You should definitely go get him then. Go get that. If you can get that, get it. Get it, get it, go, 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 go. Get Eric Gordon over 2.5 assists with Devin Booker being out. Looks pretty good, looks good. Carson, what's up? We doing good, brother. We doing good. He's also on Sleeper. Mike Snyder says go get him on Sleeper as well, so perfect. Go snatch. You can go snatch. Let's refresh, see if there's any last picks or plays before we call it quits today. I actually have to take my dog to the vet here in about 30 minutes, so I'm going to be wrapping this thing up momentarily. And then we'll obviously, for Dub Club members, we'll be posting more picks later on in the day. You know, we'll do our best to find some value. Like I said, pretty limited night for NBA, limited night for NHL, one MLB World Series game. So it's a light night. It's going to be light. Jeremy Sohan over 15.5 points and rebounds. Have not looked at that one yet, but let's look at that one and see if there's anything that stands out. Seti, Bryce Moss says run Seti over 7.5 points. There you go. You heard it from Bryce, man. Sohan over 15.5 points and rebounds. Is that one checking out for us? Let's see if that one's checking out. Okay. 16.8. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, my friends. 16.2 on a line of 15.5. I don't hate that either. Looking pretty good here for Jeremy Sohan. What else? 14.9 on Line Star. That's the only one that has him under. And then he's at 11 points plus another 5.8 rebounds. So 16.8 points and rebounds on Number Fire. So you can look at Sohan over his points and rebounds line at where was it? 15.5. 15.5. Yeah, he's projected to go over 15.5 points and rebounds on 3 out of 4 books. But yo, it's one of them nights, guys. I think with that being said, we'll call it quits for today. We dug, man. We dug deep. You guys have more information now than you did before. I don't know that it's going to help you with decision making a whole lot, but we tried, right? We tried to find some plays. The only play that really stood out to me, and of course you saw me take it here, is Julius Randle taco at 7.5. We took the over on that with Zach Collins for more than 6.5 rebounds. That's what I went with. I hope it works out for me. I really do. If it does, then we will go up. We will go up $75, make ourselves $50. Once again, I appreciate all the support. If you want to support even more and get access to winning picks each and every day, posted by yours truly, join the Dub Club. Dub Club's link is in the description below. Or in the description below and in the live chat. And then in the description below, there's also links to props.cash, to PrizePicks if you want to make your first deposit on PrizePicks. Maybe you're not playing on there yet. And everything else that I have going on. All right, guys? Good luck tonight. We'll catch you tomorrow. And I appreciate you being here, guys.